Hey everybody, Overlord here for WorldsEndGames. I am playing Spintires, a game I'm not very good at. I have put in about 2 hours so far according to Steam, and so far I haven't been very productive. So we're going to start a new game. And for the map, I'm going to choose the volcano. Why? Because this is so far the one that I've gotten the best results on. And I'm just not very good, and I need some decent starting vehicles, and this map offers those. So we're gonna go ahead and start the game. Yes, I do know I will lose the progress of me being stuck in a pile of mud as normal. So this game still is fairly new, and it's still in, I would say, a fixing up phase. The biggest issues I've seen is the camera, which can be a little bit troublesome. So, right now we're in the garage. Anytime you're in the garage, this install add-ons and trailers menu pops up and shows what your vehicle does and what it can have. This is your garage area. And just like any other map, you start out with your start out vehicles and they all end up here. This map happens to have all the vehicles for this map as startup vehicles. Now in this game you get older Soviet trucks, and I think there's logging and mud involved. So by hitting F1 we pull up our map, and you can see most of the maps under this like dark force field of doom, and you can't see anything. More importantly, you can't see the roads, so you're not really sure what the best routes are. I can tell you from experience, the roads down here is not necessarily the best, but I'm not sure about the one to the further north or east, or whichever direction we want to call it. East, yes, I believe that is the proper direction. Anyway, we're not really sure what the safe routes are. However, we do know that lumber is here, and I think it needs to be delivered here. Now this is casual mode, so that doesn't mean you're gonna have it easy. Now we do have 4 trucks. D537 is what we start out as, and it's this thingamajigger, kind of a multi-purpose vehicle. Then we have the A469, which is this Jeep looking vehicle, I believe. Or is it? Yeah, I believe so, yeah, it's the Jeep, because they're in line. Now this vehicle, I suppose, has its uses. I just haven't really found too many clear ones, because there's mud freaking everywhere and you get stuck. Next up we have this vehicle, which has a few attachments such as a trailer and a cart with a crane, so you can use that to grab trees, which is pretty badass. And finally we have the E7310, which has a crane on it. On top of it, it has the whole like anchor things for helping it not move. I haven't quite figured out how to use the crane to do crane-like functions, but I'm sure it's pretty great. It's also very dark right now, which isn't that great. But ultimately our goal is going to both be get to the objective and to get to the lumber. For that, I believe we should go to the lumber first and get logging done. So let's go ahead and start up a vehicle. So we already have our first truck. Select it. We're going to go under advanced. You'll notice the engine is already started, but let's say it wasn't because you want to drive the crane. When it isn't, all you have to do is hit start engine. Now, unlike my Kia, this does take a minute. A good minute. You'll also notice when you're in the advanced menu, the parking brake is on. You need to close that in order to move. Down here you have your gear shift, which you can shift gears. This is the default gear, but you can also throw it in reverse, which is down here, which we don't really need to do because we'll back into a building. We also have 1 plus, which every time when I try to use it, the engine begins to stall. But I've been told it's useful somehow on some vehicle that I don't drive, I suppose. And up here is automatic, which is by far the one I prefer to use because I'm a bad driver and I get stuck. H turns on the headlights, which makes driving a little bit easier. And we should be moving forward. Oh, there we go. Now you'll notice this right here, down here shows you, down in the left corner shows you all kinds of information, including how much fuel you're using, which is in liters, which is a measurement of liquid that isn't gallons, because this is Soviet Russia. In Soviet Russia, they use liters. Okay? Okay. Also, it will show you how much fuel you have. We have 500 liters, which is a lot, unless if you waste it. So don't do that. If we go under advanced, you'll also see you can repair. This is a utility truck, and along with the Jeep, it has the ability to repair itself and other vehicles, which can make it pretty cool. It also is a good time to use the winch, which is like a cable, except for it doesn't seem to have the ability to pull, but from the advanced menu you can also release it. You can also release it by hitting the X. You notice that I have no hope of pulling down this tree, also, especially with the parking brake on. E turns on all-wheel drive, and diff lock can be turned on with Q, both of which affect your gas, power, and torque. And no, I can't pull down the tree. I can, however, pull other vehicles and use trees to help pull me out of mud, which is, I think, a pretty helpful feature. So, I don't like driving at night. I just don't. But much like Minecraft, night and day neither last forever or for very long. But you're more likely to get screwed over at night. So, the goal is going to be we're going to caravan to this place. Hopefully there we'll have some trees we can harvest using this one. Yes. See, you gotta start the engine. Yes, so we probably will definitely be caravanning to do this. But anyway, this one's pretty cool because we can do something like push the anchors down, which we shouldn't do. We should extend the anchors, position the anchors, then push them down. Then we have crane grab, and we can move the crane. And it's just like, boom. Grabs a tree. Releases a tree. Grabs another tree. I still haven't really figured out how to drive it very well. But I'm told it's possible. I just hit that, yeah. By the way, you can achieve the crane grab by both. I think you could toggle this. If not, just hit the number 4. However, you can't use a number pad for that because it doesn't like it. I'm sure I could actually practice with this and actually move a tree, but who wants to do all that? So yeah, just put those back. Right, so I'm actually going to wait out day before we start moving. As far as the other vehicles, the one with the crane is particularly good for pulling other vehicles, I find, possibly out of mud. And the Jeep, I still haven't really found uses for, but you know how it goes, right? Meantime, this has been Overlord for WorldsEndGames. Yes, my Steam name is Death Wish Granted, so feel free to add me on your friends list. When we come back, we're going to begin convoying to the logging camp.